I guess, potential review if you're MiBR, because you've had a run-in with Astralis on DUST2 before, not too long ago. And Anders, how did that go?
I mean, there are only so many words, right? Like, I feel like we would need some biblical references to really make it a bit fair.
Like Astralis parted the season, found ways to open bomb sites left and right versus MiBR.
They just smited them in the middle of DUST2. It was unbelievable. Stewie opening up with a great headshot. Oh my god! Falling back through the window and taking down Magus. That is not bad at all. Going to be now 5 versus 3 as Astralis try and cross into the bomb site. They're going to get the bomb plant, sure, but this retake here for the CT side should be fairly powerful. Dupree's holding the bottom of Dark, and if he goes down, there is no more defense on this B bomb side. Tariq easily going to get rid of him now. They should be able to actually not even crunch through Dark, which is a little bit scary maybe. Sip wants to put some pressure on. They're going to lose Glaive, and he takes 2 immediately, turns around and tries to get the 3rd. It's not going to happen. And that will be MiBR picking up the pistol.
Valiant effort from Sipnix right there, but kind of tough when you have 5 CTs to go through at that point, and MiBR already securing themselves around, making sure that they don't have to relive that horror that happened at the Major.
It's already better.
Already better, and well, yeah, it can only go up. Stewie actually landing that 2nd frag there after the aim punch while getting flashed.
It's a bit outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah, even follows it up with the last kill. Yeah, you can tell he's happy about the situation.
He's having a lot of fun. I love to see that. So, pistol round being won, something that MiBR haven't been able to do a lot of, and against Astralis. So this is a repeat. Sure, it's a repeat on DUST2. It's also a repeat of the first Blast Pro Grand Finals in the Royal Arena in Copenhagen, where MiBR beat Astralis in front of the home crowd.
Yeah.
Fallen said he would make it a library, and he certainly did. It was incredible, and I mean, this is going to be interesting to see now. Astralis obviously with their full lineup, but still, if they can take them down on DUST2, that would set such a stage for that best of 3 that's coming up later. Tariq tapping away here with the FAMAS. No panic at all. He's not really put under that much pressure, and he's going to be able to make it.
And bombs in a bit of an awkward position as well for Matches to try to retrieve. It's not going to be the case anytime soon. Does actually find Fallen, though. Accurate with that Glock in his hand. But for stops is the nonsense, really, and only 1 player goes down for MiBR. So they can be happy with that. Not the end of the world, but as we saw, Astralis didn't really invest anything at all, and that's because they got the bomb plant in that pistol, meaning AKs are available.
Indeed they are. So, early buy.
I think DUST2 is also one of the maps that lends itself better to these kind of purchases. You don't necessarily need that many nades and that much utility to actually get map control as you would on a lot of other spots. As long as you're adamant about what you want to do, if you want to focus heavily on long control early on, you can use utility to get that without necessarily feeling like you don't have anything to fall back on, even if you don't find an opening frag or anything like that. But Astralis have decided to take a bit of a more conservative approach to this. Fairly slow pace and a bit of a more of a default, really, out of them.
See how it all plays out. I mean, you're absolutely right as well. It's very hard for the CTs to deny a fight that the Ts want. I mean, if you're in the C side on DUST2, you kind of want to have a battle at AK.
Yeah. Really
shut down, especially in a round like this where you're up against one FAMAS and UMP and an MP9, so you've got a lot of favorable fights going your way. And MiBR, they're doing their best to sort of slow it down with grenades. They got 3 smokes and 2 Molotovs left at about a minute, so that's a pretty good job on the MiBR side. And especially if you ever want to retake, let's say, the B-bomb side, you definitely need grenades on the CT side.
Oh, yeah. Probably the hardest side, actually, to retake. At least for my money, I would never want to try to retake that bomb site. It goes like hand in hand with, I guess, both bomb sites on Kabul. But that's no longer in the map pool, thankfully, so don't have to worry about that anymore. Just have nightmares about B.
Yeah. Oh, that's another good grenade. 30 seconds now, and it's Stewie and Fur on the one side there. They are out of grenades, just flashbangs left in case Astralis try and come through. They're going to change their minds. They run up to Catwalk and run into a Molotov. I mean, this is not fun for them at all right now. 18 seconds, 1 mistake, and this round is going to be lost just due to time. Fallen just putting a little bit of pressure on there. Close range is Cold Zero on the other angle, and they're getting funneled into this, lining up in a... Oh my god, a team kill as well. 2 on 3, and they are simply out of time. Great defense here from MiBR. The grenade usage is so incredible. You see Astralis saying, you know, we can't wait for like 15 seconds outside of B. Let's go back to A instead. There's a Molotov, and then they just get even just peeking every once in a while, Fallen slowing them down a couple of more seconds, that was beautiful.
Yeah, you could say that he had no intention of actually committing to that peek as well. He literally pops up to shoot one bullet, waits for a little, like, a second and a half, and then does it exactly, you know, one more time, and that staggers Astralis the entire time. That buys so much time for Tarek as well, because again, Tarek's been doing this in every MiBR game. So quick to rotate aggressively around the map. He never goes like for the, I guess, the safe rotation in that sense on the CT sides. It's always rotating around, and this time it buys enough time for him to find a double kill to close out the round.
That was very awkward.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of closing things out,
Device looked like he had sort of got stuck at top mid, and then the battle just kept happening, and Dupree showed up and said,
enough.
Yeah, you know what? I can get this shot.
Stop bullying my star player.
Are they gonna? Yeah, they're gonna go for the run boost. Gets. Oh my God! Hits the headshot and the follow-up from Device. It can't be real. Cold Zero now down on the A ramp. He's gonna fall back in time. It must have made a bit of noise there, but I don't think Glaive is actually realizing a free kill as the bomb goes down, and Device is gonna fall. That is crazy. I would love to see that from MiBR's point of view, because that must have looked just insane.
It's like, what the hell are they doing? The funny part is, like, obviously we get the, you know, the, I guess, the fly cam from the Astralis players being run boosted.
Yeah.
But it's Device in the back being able to land the 2 headshots. But in a sense, you know, for Astralis, that works out very neatly because all the attention is on the people with the weaker weapons. Device with the Deagle is able to kind of line up the shots he wants. That's a great one from Dupree as well. Here we go. Yeah, you can see so much focus on the 2 first players on the Astralis side, and gives Device more than enough time for a player of his caliber to land Deagle shots.
So that was fun, but it's still MiBR winning the round. They're still up 4-0 right now. They've got the double AWP in effect, and that's such a go-to for them. Really powerful. It's Stewie and Fallen, but it could be, you know, Fallen and Cold Zero if they wanted to. Yeah, it's got so many options.
I was about to say, like, we've seen that on the other maps we've seen MiB play. It's been Cold Zero to pick up that secondary op, especially on Mirage, for instance. Yeah, no, but again, if you have more streaks to play off of, you know, why not? It's not like Tarek is a bad opera either by any means.
Nope. Can definitely make that work. And Stewie gonna find the first kill. That was all the way from middle. And that takes all the pressure away from middle. Cold Zero is gonna call it in any second now. See, I've seen nobody else here. There's no one jumping, no noise being made. They get the long control, and interesting double smoke.
This is more like an old school DUST2 way of taking long control as we've seen in the past. Not really seen it too much on this new iteration, but Astralis bringing out all of his tricks.
They're getting very close now. Fallen, this is scary. Oh my God. How did he get that shot? Taking down Glaive, that's so impressive. And now they try for the bomb plant yet again here. 3-on-5, Sip taking 2. Tarek's gonna get 1 in return. And Stewie trying to edge for the smoke. Sip just spraying blindly. Oh my God, he takes him down. Stewie, that's such a dangerous fight. No bomb plant happening. That was denied earlier. And he knows he's behind the truck. He's gonna take him back. Device gets 1 big kill, but there's no cover here. You can shoot right through those windows. 5 in a row. MiBR on fire here against Astralis. They want that revenge. 5-0 right now. They're making it really work.
That was very, very well done by MiBR. Again, completely content with giving up mid control. As you said, they had so much information off of that first pick from Stewie. Allowed Cold to get close enough in mid to realize what was going on. Falling with an absolutely insane shot there. Sipnik's obviously getting 2 people through smoke, as is tradition almost. But yeah, being able to fight back there, so well done by MiBR, and they seem to be revitalized here.
They're doing a remarkable job at the moment. It's great to see them back in this kind of form. You want it to continue. For a while, they had a great era, the best team in the world, and they were so hard to stop. And the downfall from that has been, yeah, a journey all on its own. But seems like the trajectory is going the other way now. Starting to make the team work. Good recovery here in this round, though, from Astralis. 2 kills on Sip, 2 on Device. And maybe a little bit too, feeling a little bit too good at the moment, MiBR. They could have probably held that, like they didn't have to take all of those fights down at long. Yeah,
no, but just to make matters worse, the fact that a Device lands the shot onto Fur in the middle there just opens things up. Kind of spreads the default, denies any shorter rotations from MiBR if they wanted to do so, because that is also a possibility. You could stack heavily towards one of the edges of the map, then be okay with having to do a retake as long as you have the man advantage. You still have more utility than Astralis had going into this round. But Device just being able to shut them down completely there. Yeah, it's really, really well done.
He's obviously still an incredibly scary player, as we've seen, and we definitely saw throughout the major. Right now, though, if you look at the scoreboard, I mean, Device and Sip are doing pretty well with 5 kills each. Glaive is at 0, and on the other side, Tarek at 9, Cold Zero at 8. They are, again, putting on a great display here in MiBR. And they're going to need it as well. I mean, that Grand Finals is a best of 3 against Astralis, and we know Astralis has a very, very deep map pool. I mean, depending on this, do you think we're going to see DUST2 in that best of 3?
I think we could, because obviously a surprising amount of teams allowed Astralis to play Nuke during the major, and every team learned that that's something you can't do. Here we see the opening from Device. Wow. That's pretty ridiculous. And follows it up with kill onto Stewie as well. But yeah, the fact that, I guess in one sense, it's nice for MiBR that they don't play Nuke regardless. It's always their go-to veto. So that, I guess that upside for Astralis is already gone. And if MiBR can show up a bit, or show a bit of a fight here on DUST2, Astralis might not feel as comfortable.
It's a good find for Cold Zero. Doubling up on the aggression and getting the kill. 4 on 3 now. Not connecting through the door either. Tarek wants to go back and see if he can make this one work. First, pushing out in top of Dark. Stewie's going down, though. And Tarek, yeah, I mean, he was going to go down one way or the other there. Almost impossible. Fur might snag a kill with the Max 7, which would be good for the money, but that's a little bit long range for the Max 7 to work. And Glaive will pick up a kill.
Yeah. Glaive notching his 2 first to his belt. And Astralis get a second round on the board as well. And this is also a period of time where MiBR has to actually go for an eco here. We saw the force buy, obviously nicely portrayed by the Mag 7 enhance of Fur. But well, we talked about it. Such a good start for MiBR. Really turning on fire there, and now we can very easily see it swing back to potential 5v5 or 5-5 scoreline.
Yeah.
In a matter of seconds.
Yeah, that could definitely happen. Dupree having a good time in the middle, going to continue the fight with a little bit of backup from Magisk. They're going to shut down that whole push. I mean, I still appreciate that from the CT side. It makes sense to try and do something when you just have the USPs.
Yeah, strength in numbers and whatnot.
Yeah, going to be shut down eventually. So, 3 rounds now on the board for Astralis, and they could buy in this round MiBR, but they're going to go for HEs instead, and just sort of, they probably want that double up setup.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they have a plan for where those nades are going. I would have liked to see one more.
Yeah. And
then having them, 3 best players with spawn towards long, for instance. That kind of a thing.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But, okay, it's still going to be the 2 players with HEs towards long. I feel like Cold Zero might have joined in on that fun.
Let's see. One break, kind of missing. It's hard because they're throwing flashbangs over the wall from the T side, so you're not always sure exactly what's happening.
Yeah, you have to have a preset angle going into it.
They already have the B bomb site, so it's
firmly in the grasp of Astralis right now.
Yeah, they've got this one on lockdown. Not quite. I mean, I kind of feel like when they buy this stuff, you wish they could get a bit more out of it. A couple of kills would have really helped out here. It's still possible, but that Molotov is going to put some pressure on them. But it's bomb down. The rest, they're just hunting for it.
Yeah, Cold's going to get 1 frag to his name at least, but this is like the minor difference, because obviously you don't think too much about it because it's an eco round. They're not necessarily meant to win, but it's what kind of economical damage you can do to your opponents at that stage, because right now, Astralis are flush with cash.
Yeah.
But if they were able to, have a concerted plan where they can actually land these kind of nades and actually take out 2 to 3 players each and every round they are in an eco, that's going to limit Astralis' ability going forward and potentially break that much sooner. And that's what Astralis really have perfected. Like, they make the most out of everything they have, like every situation they're in. That's why they're so tough to play against.
Dupree's got really far into middle. This is incredibly early in the round for a T player to have made this. I mean, if someone goes back and check, well, now he's a little bit further back, but still, you could imagine someone just walks in and dies to this without even having an idea because it's just so unexpected.
Oh yeah, you can see Cold Zero, yeah, with the nade in his hand. He's not ready for it. Oh, Dupree's going to find the follow-up on Fallen as well. He's going to find a 3rd. Fur, living dangerously, does manage to get 1, but not before Glaive immediately responds with a frag on his own, and that's the entire A-bomb side just gone. And that was not the intention of Astralis at all. They were not intending on getting an A hit here, but they'll take it.
Absolutely will. Stewie the last one up on the scaffolding, but I mean, 1 versus 4, that's an outrageous way to lose mid-control like that. Just, they weren't expecting it so quick as well that they just weren't expecting it. Flashes himself in, it's a good idea, but now it's 5 in a row for Astralis. They've extinguished the fire of MiBR, they've taken it back for themselves. And, I mean, I wasn't expecting this kind of beginning at all, but now that Astralis have all this money, I mean, they're rich beyond belief.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at a post-buy, 15K on Sipnix, 12.5 on Glaive, 11.5 on Magisk as well. Like, the poor person in the team is Device at 7.2K.
Yeah.
That is a pretty ridiculous situation to find yourself in. And right now, it's been actually mid that's been a bit of an issue here. We haven't seen too much long pressure from Astralis, at least not a whole lot of big battles between the two teams at that area, even though it's been a hotly contested point, you know, amongst most top teams who play DUST2. But it's been mid that Astralis have just kind of been able to have their way with it. This time around, we've got Magisk sneaking out here.
Well, a little bit of pressure on Glaive. He's going to be just fine. He had some backup as well. Rifle does get lost in the middle, so something to work with there if you're Tarek. He has armor as well. But they're going to start to back it up and go towards the bomb site here. Fur is inside of it. He's got a scout. If he can get one good tag on, that would really help out. Bit of damage onto the pre. And by the truck waiting, Stewie tapping away. Oh no. He wouldn't even have had a chance to reload then. So now all on Fur, and he's not going to be able to survive. That scout is not really the best weapon for that kind of scenario. 6th round on the board now for Astralis. They're well back in the game. And I don't know, the economy is really, I think, what's also bothering MiBR right now.
Yeah,
having trouble with that.
Definitely, and again, with them going back to double ops setups, I mean, we did see them have success with it, but they need to make it work, you know, for more than just one round at a time. They need to be able to string rounds together. Otherwise, they're going to have to be going back to potentially double ecos at this stage of the game, and at that point, you're letting Astralis get too much of a leash. Like, they're going to take a country mile every single time you give them an inch, and Magisk this time. Again, Astralis being good at utilizing spawns.
Absolutely are. Great flashbang to retake long control for just a minute. Oh, Tarek, he wants that rifle. He's going to fall back. Can he make it around the corner? Barely. Oh my god, he wins the fight. That's out of control. Taking down Device. You have no idea how hard that is to do. If you're Tarek, getting back from long and running into that catwalk player, I mean, it's 9 out of 10 times you're just dead immediately. He gets that kill and turns around for long. That's so impressive. I can't believe he did that. Tarek is just a world-class player. You saw it in the last map as well. Cash, that 1 versus 3 that he had was just impressive, and now he's back at it again. Fur is going to be going down. It's still a 2-on-2. Stewie getting one good shot off on Glaive. Leaves Magisk alone, and he's going to go aggressive. Yes, the bomb is down, but he knew he can't stay alive, just hiding down here. Going to be one good shot. Tarek on the inside. Can he finish what he started? He jumps down and gets a shot on him. Quad kill from Tarek. Impressive round.
That was really just a display of operas going back and forth at it. Magisk opening things up on long. Again, Astralis being good at utilizing the, you know, best spawn available, dropping the op off of Magisk and seeing what he can do with it. But Tarek, yeah, just really salvaging that round from start to finish. Just the shot on Dupree on the catwalk is a really awkward situation to be in as an opper.
Yeah.
Because obviously the majority of his body is actually tucked away. And I mean, if you miss that shot, you're just dead. This is 100% of the time.
There's a lot of, I mean, this is, everything about this is madness. You should be dead when this happens. Yeah. The fact that he waits as well, yeah, he's just
ice cold.
He's not going to get the shot early. He's just waiting for him to be airborne, and then he gets the easier shot. Nice headshot from Cold Zero falling back. Finally, MiBR managed to put out the flame of Astralis for just a while. We'll see if they can continue here. Got that opening and a good grenade follow-up.
Oh, and again, Glaive manages to get his way out into mid. Device is going to follow up on Tarek. Do have the bomb, but look at Fur. He's on a bit of a mission here.
This is turning into a deathmatch now. There's almost no logic left. It's just fighting all over the map.
That is part of the beauty of DUST2, though.
You have to embrace it. You have to just say, okay.
It's like, I can't say the famous quote by No Tail, but when the game goes a certain way, you just have to commit to it and run with it.
Yeah, definitely do. Fur has been sneaking up behind him, and just as the ball, oh, he's going to get caught. I think he wanted to try and see if he could surprise them there. Nice headshot from Cold Zero yet again. Triple for him. He needs the ace clutch. And with just a FAMAS, I mean, that's a pretty big ask. He's got no smoke to lure anyone out either, and you could tell already he kind of knows there's no way to break this crossfire.
Yeah, Sipnix has played in a nice little off angle as well, off towards long. You're going to have to commit so deep out towards long if you're going to find Sipnix at any given point instead of him just playing actively from pit or something like that. That's obviously going to give Magisk a time to potentially get a trade in. Cold expecting a flash to be in there. That's just Magisk trying to pick up an op. He's going to do so as well, and actually going to stay alive as the bomb goes up. But Cold manages to salvage an op on his own. So has to be, all things considered, happy about how that turned out.
Yeah, I mean, you almost wish that he would have gone for it, but, you know, I can't really blame him.
Thinking long term here. They're actually going to drop it for, okay, I was about to say, they dropped it for Stewie for a second there. Curious to see how they decide to go about it. We touched on this earlier, the fact that you have so many capable operators on the side of MiBR, it doesn't really matter too much who you actually end up giving it to. And, ooh, the auto snipers.
I mean,
getting their damage in.
a little bit, right? And it's only round number 14. Usually you save it for the 15th round, but I guess that's just how much money they have.
Sipnik says no chill.
6 to 7 here. I still think 6 rounds is pretty good on CT side DUST2. I think MiBR should still be pretty happy about it, but obviously they want more. Cold Zero going to be taking down Sip, and that's a good way to get started. A little bit scary. Devices on the other side. Don't want to challenge now that you've got the lead. Just make them come to you eventually.
See what Astralis' go-to is. They found a fair amount of success going out through mid here. Might try to do so again. Cleared out close corners with a Molotov, but no immediate reaction. Instead, it's going to be MiBR here going aggressive for once again leading the charge. And oh, Astralis are completely unbeknownst to this.
I feel like
they're actually going to back off.
Tarek going to win the fight against Device. This is looking so good right now. I feel like Dupree must have seen just a sliver, like... He's certainly very suspicious coming back up the stairs.
Yeah.
But they don't really have a good reason to go and hunt for this right now. 3 on A, 2 on B. The weapons aren't great, but still. If they lose even one person retake or trying to get this B bomb side, it's going to be very hard to hold on to anything. And that's a well-timed smoke. Or on the other side, looking to explode right through it. 25 seconds. Stewie. 1 kill is all we're asking for. Oh, and he's going to get it a double, and that's more than enough. 20 seconds now for Magisk, and he's got almost no chance. He's going to get shot down from Fallen there. Brave effort, but that's going to make it 7-7 as we lead into the last round of the half here.
Yeah. 2
orbs picked up. I know they have enough money to buy more. I want more auto snipers on that T side.
They're going to be kind. It seems like Sipnik might have had him. He still has enough actually. He could buy an auto sniper here.
Get one.
Do it. I mean, he doesn't know, but he did significant amount of damage to 2 of the 3 people crossing last time around, so why not? But it seems like Astralis on there, well, they don't need auto snipers, and they want to set up, take up the pace, really. Got along really quick and early. Flashes pummeling over the long area. Magic's going to find Tarek. Cold Zero pushes aggressively through the smoke, but is found by Glaive, and that leaves Fallen on the A bomb site. He's going to have to stem the tide. Does so well.
Wow, he even jumps for the second one. This is a little bit crazy. Sees the gun being thrown around. He knows somebody else is in pit, but 2 on 3. That was a great long take from Astralis, but then it's kind of been slowed down a little bit. Fallen sneaking into the middle, the smoke going up in front, and they're going to try and challenge it. Sip and Glaive to close it out. 8-7 in favor of Astralis. That's after losing the first 5 rounds in a row, so I suppose it's a good recovery on them. And obviously a much improved DUST2 for MiBR than it was the first time around.
Definitely so. And for me, I'm kind of conflicted going into the second half in terms of what to expect, because we've seen so many different matches, you know, with the same teams involved. I mean, we've seen Astralis beat SK 16-0, but we've also seen them lose 16-1 versus North. And then Trounce, I think it was Mouseport 16-2. Like, there's been so many one-sided matchups, but there hasn't been any consistency between them in terms of, you know, they all started on CT side, the team that won dominantly, or it was T side. It's just been very all over the place for this DUST2, new iteration of DUST2.
Yeah, it's hard to really figure out so far. Glaive with a lot of aggression in a pistol round. He actually tags Tarek long range. That's really frustrating. And it's obviously not risk-free to do that, but that USP versus Glock long range, I mean, they don't have any upgraded P250s, so he feels confident in doing it. Trying to find the face is Fur against Sip. Sip's gonna fall back, so yeah, that little bit of damage early on Tarek. Yeah. You can obviously give the bomb to somebody else, but you also don't want the guy planting the bomb to be on 9 health, right?
Yeah.
That can... Some bad things can happen when you're in that position.
Definitely so. Right now, Tarek's not going to lead the charge anywhere from the side of MiBR. It's just kind of hanging out in T-spawn. And for right now, it seems like this is just always something I find somewhat weird versus Astralis. They're not the team that goes hyper-aggressive a lot of the times. Maybe Inferno is a bit of an exception.
Yeah.
But yeah, MiBR just kind of holding out, seeing if there's any stray Astralis members trying to push for information. But they're perfectly content holding passively here, and instead we're going to see a bit of his execute towards the Z bomb site. 7X gets flashed out. Oh, actually drop into CT spawn.
This is what they tried to do against Astralis last time, and it didn't work. This time it does. It's so beautiful as well. 2-man drop, but Dupree and Device are going to combine for a couple of kills there. 25 seconds trying to crush this bomb site. Dupree and Magus are still inside. If Fallen dies with the bomb in this window, and he does, that's an absolute disaster. Now, Stewie alone, 1 versus 4. No bomb planner, nothing to fight for here. He's playing a dangerous game of, I don't know, whack-a-mole that's going on, and he's not getting it. There's no chance. He's going to run into 4 players that are waiting for him, and Dupree will take him down. It's a good round for Astralis.
Most lethal version of whack-a-mole you can have.
Yeah, the mole fights back really hard, doesn't he?
It's unfair when the wolf all of a sudden gets bullets to deal with, right? It's just not okay. But yeah, initially, like, cool idea from MiBR. I'm a little bit curious about what the end game is, because obviously when you drop down spawn, normally you'd see teams have a smoke drop down, so they don't have to worry about their backs. Instead, you see actually Astralis being able to find multiple picks from the players who drop down. Even if they find Glaive and spawn initially, it's just that you have so many angles you still haven't dealt with at that point, and obviously Astralis are going to respond to what's happening.
I mean, when they did it the last time around during the major, they actually put up kind of that smoke towards CT spawn, and I think that was to lure people who are in CT spawn to look that way.
Yeah.
And it's a really good idea, I think. Good little defense here from Dupree. 1 with a grenade, and then all that's left is cold 0, and he can't really make it work. Triple for Dupree, and he is going to love that. 10-7 now. Astralis doing a really, really good job here early on in the second half. Of course.
Well, Dupree doing really well for himself, just sitting at 17 frags.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Dupree's had an up and down year. Even though Astralis have been remarkably consistent. Obviously, the entire squad is just a group of all-stars, but Dupree's been not the same kind of... He's not fulfilled this part as the tandem of that, you know, Device and Dupree duo the entire year, but it's really nice, like, especially during the major, peaking in form in that kind of sense, and continuing it in here in Istanbul.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that, if he's really feeling sort of good about himself and good about the game...
Unstoppable.
Yeah, and I think it lends like some extra energy to the rest of the team. It could be pretty good. Some good synergy that could be going on there. Bit awkward for Glaive.
Yeah, not having synergy with the UMP.
No. The Device, though, catch 1. Oh, it's a good attempt. Almost taking down Device. And they're going to back on out. 2-on-4. No reason to give anything away here.
Well, 2 pretty low HP members on the side of Astralis. And again, all of these small factors can play a pretty big and significant part going further into the game. Device has made sound here, so there's chance for Tarek to potentially get an easy pick. See if Device actually sticks around for a long time. Oh, actually does stick around long enough to find Cold Zero. Oh, Tarek drops down from the box immediately.
Mid-air, Dupree. Well, surprising himself, it seems.
Yeah, well, it's nice when you have the ability to kind of shock yourself in terms of what you're able to do. Not too shabby.
Again, this is a preview of the grand finals that's going to be coming up. It's the 5th round of the round robin, but these 2 teams are already in the grand finals. There's a lot on the line for the 3rd place decider, though. Remember, the 3rd place gets to pick one other team to play a sort of a show match against, and there's 20K on the line for that one. Yeah. So
very different kind of show match as well.
Oh yeah. You guys, if you haven't seen it the first time around in Copenhagen, definitely are gonna have to stick around for that, because it gets a little bit wild. We had so much fun in Copenhagen doing that.
Absolutely. I think the players really enjoyed it. You know, it's a different take on it for sure.
Yeah.
Well, he's going back and forth here. Device is actually missing a bit of a sitter onto
he's
Fall
in trouble.
here. Yeah.
The fact that he doesn't get Fall means there's still pressure from Catwalk, but now it's also coming in from Long. 2 people pushing up against him. He doesn't even know right now. Stewie's snuck all the way up by the truck, and yeah, he's still not really realizing. He's going to walk right back into it. I think now he's going to know, but it might be a bit too late. He's in so much trouble. Great back up there. Dupree taking a kill, and Fallen goes down. They had him locked in. I can't believe that they made it out of that one. 2-on-3, won by Astralis.
Yeah, if Dupree isn't that decisive about actually pushing around behind from Long, that could go really, really haywire for them. Because it seemed like Device didn't really have a good take on where he was actually getting shot from. You could see first time the AK is getting fired at him, started to look towards Pit. Stewie's obviously like much further pushed up. Even when he's around by a car at that point, Device is still not completely convinced as to what's going on, and obviously has to be worried about the threat from Fallen on Catwalk.
Yeah.
So if Dupree is a couple seconds later, that could very easily be a dead Device. There's no reason for MiBR to push up that excessively, and they can actually deal with the potential backstab. Does put MiBR back to an eco though. Glaive using. I'm not sure what to call that position. I've heard it's been named Fox after the VP player. You know,
Fox, Russian Fox.
Yeah, Doge's brother. And obviously Fifth Lauren as well, because that was kind of where he stayed at with the op in his NIP days as well.
Yeah, I think I always think of it as the Fox position, but I guess that is, I mean, by now that's kind of a slightly obscure reference. That's a pretty good grenade. Sip just readjusting. No trouble here for Astralis. Going to be at 13 rounds. That's a lot to deal with right now for MiBR.
We're just hoping that they can crawl underground.
I'm kind of wondering, I mean, again, in terms of the best of 3, you don't want to play Nuke. Based on this, okay, DUST2 is better, but it's not
It's not guaranteeing you a win, right?
So what do you do?
I mean, on the side of MiBR, yeah, I mean, I guess you could look at it, we might win second round pistol as well. That'd be a hope in that sense. You can get off to a good start, maybe win first buy round. That could swing things, because you need a lot of factors to go in your favor if you're going to have any chance for Astralis on this map. But I'm not really sure if that, like, otherwise, you know, around in the map, well, what do they have a decent enough chance on? Go to Overpass? I don't want to play Astralis on Overpass.
No.
Maybe Mirage, but, you know, again, like, we have to keep in mind that Astralis has a ban as well. That's probably going to be cash, but...
Yeah, I was going to say.
I guess, yeah, you have to take it to maps like Mirage, DUST2, and then kind of cross your fingers.
It's really not easy if you're a MiBR trying to figure out the map picks for the finals at all. Yeah. Dupree is a great one tap.
So cold. Knows, like, the second he fires off that bullet, knows he doesn't need any more. Right now, this is a bit of a chokehold.
Yeah, and the way that they were getting picked off in middle there is obviously, I mean, it is a problem on DUST2, right? If they're suddenly pushing Catwalk as well, and you're getting sniped at from middle, like, you just lose players all the time.
It is really tough, because you don't want to expend any smokes to potentially smoke off double doors, because you want to eventually get through double doors to get some sort of mid control. And you also want to save some of your utility, not only for the CT spawn smoke, but also potentially for, you know, retakes, blocking off door, all that kind of stuff. It's just really, really hard to deal with. And Fallen, one of the more hopeful attempts at taking a long control with the MAC-10 I've seen. He's going to get punished pretty severely as well. But Tarek's found some footing here on B.
2 on 4. They need rounds. The bomb is a top mid. They have to be bomb side. They forgot one crucial part of this plan, Ben. Just one. Oh yes, Stewie. Yeah. He drew the short straw and he said, "All right, I guess I'm gonna hike all the way back. Let's see how this goes." Tarek is sneaking through the smoke on the other side. I mean, he's actually done it somehow. He's made his way through. He might get both these kills. He's backing in, but if he had kept going, maybe he could have got Device as well. I don't know what's happening. Dupree. Oh, he sees it as well. This is so strange.
Oh, man.
Oh, well.
It's like when you write the perfect theses, but you forget to add sources, so you fail anyway.
Yeah, the footnotes, they're all gone.
Dupree is going to find Tarek eventually. Tarek's done a masterful job of just being able to keep the attention of at least one of the Astralis players over towards that B bomb site. So there is an avenue here for Stewie. Might have to realize that, oh, that's risky.
He's going to get shot in the back. Dupree already sees it. I mean, I'm impressed they even got that far into the round, honestly. Like, once you're playing, what, like 2 versus 4, and the bomb is in T-spawn.
I was so hopeful for them. I was like, yeah, it's 2v4, but they've made it to the B bomb side. This is possible to actually hold off, you know, in terms of fending off a retake.
Wow. That
is quick. Actually gets a follow-up immediately as well.
That's a disgusting way to hold middle, isn't it? Like,
I wish I could do that.
15-7. Astralis looking at, once again, very good. You see them winning 5 rounds in a row there. And double AWP, M4s, 1 AK stolen there on Glaive. Very limited what they have on the MiBR side.
Yeah, MiBR actually yet to find a round on this T side. That is a bit of an issue, as you talked about. This is, again, a preview of the grand finals. Glaive still going to win out that fight. Actually finds a second one as well before Fallen's able to reply. Boy, everything's just going from bad to worse for Mid in Brazil right now.
Yeah, improvement, but not really far enough it seems. And Terry gonna have the wrong weapon out. Gets taken down by Magisk now. 1 versus 4 here, and it's gonna be the end. 16-7 as Astralis take down MiBR.